Hey, this is Sam Black with my first match with this Mardu blue deck. I'm on the draw against a mulligan to 6. And I have a hand that can cast my spells, but I don't really have any way to do things before casting these Painful Truths, and Painful Truths without early interaction is not great. That said, keeping a functional hand against a mulligan is appealing. This hand is either really good or really bad, depending on whether my first couple cards are spells, and then slightly depending on the matchup. I'm gonna mulligan this, but it's a pretty low confidence mulligan. This hand only has 2 colors, but I'm going to keep it anyway. I don't want to go to 5. I get a scry, I'm on the draw. If I find blue, then it's pretty good. That'll work. I can play that on turn 1 and find an island, and then on turn 2 I can play swamp and chase, and then that'll turn on Smoldering Marsh. I suppose I could theoretically fetch Plains and then Transgress on 2 and Crackling Doom on 3. And not be able to Jace early. But given that my opponent hasn't played a creature, I think it's better to go with the Jace line. Of course, even if I get Island, there's some argument for leading with Transgress to try to get rid of a removal spell. But given Shambling Vent, I think it's pretty likely that the removal spell is Silkrap, which I can't transgress anyway, and which will take my opponent's 3rd turn to cast. So I'm just going to play the Jace, and then assume that it'll die, and I'll transgress on turn 3, which will be the optimal time to hit a Gideon or Siege Rhino. So apparently this is Abzan. There's the predicted Silkrap. Position to get punished for not taking the Plains. No. Abzan Charm and 3 lands. Alright, it's pretty good Abzan Charm to get rid of. Now let's see if my opponent draws a threat, or if I draw a Plains first. Obviously, Shambling Vent could threat and function. I'm a little. Oh, this can't find an untapped white or black mana, so my opponent couldn't attack with Shambling Vents this turn. Okay. That's not good. And now we see the appeal of starting with a hand that has the mana to cast all my spells. Of course, also, if I just fetched white, then I would be able to participate in this game. Alright. I'm going to draw white soon, that's not a big deal. Alright, that'll work. Not as good as drawing anything that gives white mana, but certainly functional and helps buy time. That's not good. That is good. Might as well get blue. And I think I want to play Seeker the Way, because I'm going to want to gain some life to make up for these Rhino hits. I'm assuming this is a Den Protector that's going to get back the Rhino at the end of turn. Then it'll cast Rhino, and then I'll Crackling Doom. unless I draw land, and then I can just exert influence and take the Rhino. Well, not as good as a land, but totally serviceable. No Shambling Vents attack is scary. It means something big is coming. Another Rhino. Land, please. Much worse. Alright, well. So now if I Crackling Doom, my opponent can sacrifice the Siege Rhino and attack with Anafenza and Den Protector and put a counter on Den Protector. Then I have to chump block Anafenza. Alright, that lets me block Shambling Vent instead and stay alive. If my opponent chooses to attack with it. Maybe I should have waited for the attack. If my opponent's keeping Anafenza anyway, then there's no upside to doing this before combat. That's not good. I think I'm just dead now. Yeah. Definitely can't afford to miss land drops. Alright, so I want another Exert Influence. I tend to not like Mastery very much against Ebsen. I think they're too aggressive. Reasonably likely that that's the only change I'm making. Negate's not bad, but I think I'd rather have the Fiery Impulses. I think those are my worst cards, but they're important for answering Warden. Yeah, I think this is roughly where I want to be. It's a little different depending on exactly what cards my opponent is playing, but for what I saw, I think this is okay. I'll go first, and I'll keep this. So this can get black-red, and then I have blue-white, and that's all my colors. So I'm going to lead with the Polluted Delta in case I find myself wanting red mana. soon. Yeah, I think it's fine. Just play the secret away. Which means I won't be able to play a 3-mana spell next turn unless I draw a basic or fetch land, but I can duress an attack and then play Shambling Vent so that I can Crackling Doom the following turn. I could Soulfire Grandmaster instead of duress. That's actually probably better. Then the following turn, if I Crackling Doom, like if my opponent plays an Anafenza and I Crackling Doom, it'll go really well. I'll gain a lot of life. And there we go. I can also duress this turn if I want. I think I'm into that. If there's an argument for keeping the duress until turn 5 so that I can duress with buyback. But with the Painful Truths, I think I can find other stuff to do with my mana. So I have to get Swamp if I want to Crackling Doom and duress. And that's fine. See what's up first, even though I'm very likely to make this play. I don't get anything. Siege Rhino, Wingmate Rock, and land. Alright. So now Rhino's coming, and it would be really good if I could draw an answer to it, because otherwise I have to also deal with the Wingmate Rock. Let's see, at this point all I can draw into is Murderous Cut, so I just need to leave a black up. I might draw Jace, so I should play Prairie Stream. Or I can just play this before playing land. Oh. Now I need to tap. Okay, I can just red, white, black. Yeah, that'll work. I think I just play Seeker here. Yeah, there's no reason to play the duress. My opponent's going to play Wingmate Rock. If I want, I could block the Rhino with everything and probably trade 2 things for it, but I don't think that's worth it. If I don't draw a relevant spell, I can duress twice and play Outcast. the advantage to dressing twice. I don't think it'll hit two things, but the second one would just be to attack with the two Seekers for 4 each. Which I kind of like. But if I dress once, I can play Dragon Master Outcast and hold up Ojutai's Command. If I just let the dress go. And getting a guy off Dragon Master Outcast is really big here. So I guess I'll just let the dress go. I can also just attack with these Seekers and cycle Command if my opponent blocks. Which I kind of like. Just land. Okay. If I attack with both Seekers, I think my opponent's likely to block one of them. And that's fine. I get punished if my opponent draws a removal spell, but things are pretty good for me if my opponent draws anything but a removal spell. The removal spell obviously punishes me because it can answer the Outcast and I won't have command to get it back. No blocks, perfect. Now I've gained a bunch of life and I can play Outcast. And now hold up command to get it back if my opponent kills it. Hold up command to counter a creature if my opponent plays one. I'll take a hit here, but I have plenty of life, and then I'll start making dragons. Okay. Dragon Master Outcast, OP. Duress didn't really perform that game, but I think that's okay. I think I still want it. I could see playing Negate or Mastery or even Hollowed Moonlight over it. Hollowed Moonlight is a card that cycles to turn on my Delve and catches half a Wingmate Rock, which is potentially better than, like, just cycling isn't bad. It's good with Jace, good with Seeker, good with Soulfire Grandmaster, and good with Delve. If I think I have too much Fiery Impulse or too much Duress, it's reasonable to go that way. Kind of like that. Not sure which one I want to cut. I think I'm going to trim a Fiery Impulse for a Hollowed Moonlight. A little weird, but it's a little mana heavy, but satisfactory. Warden to punish me for boarding out the Impulse potentially. Although I guess, since I didn't have it in my opening hand, and now this is up to a 3, it doesn't matter unless I get 2 other cards in the graveyard, which I'm not about to do. Just get Island. Sorry, Crackling Doom. You will not be played on turn 3. That's all very aggressive. Don't love that. What can we do? You can discard planes here. And play Shambling Vent, I suppose. I think I'm going to lose this game. I think my opponent's draw is too fast on the play and I don't have enough interaction. Or didn't have enough cheap interaction. Not being able to Crackling Doom this turn was actually really costly. I could have just not used the Evolving Wilds on turn 1 and instead used Polluted Delta to get black, blue, and then had Plains and Mountain in my hand, and then my other things would have been untapped. Yeah, I lost this game to fetching wrong. And my opponent curving perfectly, but it would not have been anywhere near as bad if I didn't fetch wrong. This one's on me. Yeah, super dead, but yeah, just shouldn't have used the Evolving Wilds. Should have thought about it more. Oh well, that is lesson learned, I guess.